Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Leeds Digital Forum. If you don't know me, I'm Sarah Tulip. My dog is a little bit wild this morning. So I do a number of things. I work as head of digital transformation at BGSS, one of the big tech businesses in the city, co-founder of Wile, which I'll talk about a bit later. But actually, most importantly today, I'm the inclusive growth ambassador for Leeds as a digital city. So it's really fantastic to get the digital community together, especially at a time when we're hearing such positive news about things starting to open back up, being able to see each other. I guess, first of all, our loved ones, but then hopefully we'll all get to see each other face to face soon. And I know it's been a really tough year for us all as individuals on an emotional level or businesses commercially, but I've been really proud to be part of the Leeds community and how we've come together to support each other. And I think actually that the role of local government has never been more important, and Leeds Council and specifically Eve and your team have supported us in so many ways. So I'd love to say a big thank you to you, first of all. And it's also a really exciting time that we've got our appointment of our first Metro Mayor, and West Yorkshire is going to be leading the way with a female. Tracy Brabbin's going to be our first leader in this role, and I've already sat down with her some digital roundtables, and I know that supporting our industry is really high on her agenda, so I hope that helps elevate us even further in the region and nationally. So moving on, I guess although the last 3 months have been a real slog, and I think personally for me the hardest, we as a group haven't checked out. We've had our Leeds Digital Festival mini festival, which was super cool. And kept us remembering what was going on. ODI held their international event Northern Lands 3. And actually last week, the creative industries came together with an epic all-day hay. So I know that we're still out there doing amazing things. And, thinking about the back end of this year, we've already got the announcement for Leeds Digital Festival happening in September. So I hope that if we continue to stay on lockdown track, it means the festival is going to be a real opportunities for us to share, I guess, some time together, as I miss so many faces, and I know so many people do, and we're all desperately craving human contact. So thank you so much for coming today. We've created this forum as an opportunity for anybody who's interested or passionate about the Leeds digital industry to come together and I guess hear from new, existing programs, businesses, incentives that are happening in the city that you may want to get involved with or just hear a little bit more about. So I really hope that you enjoy the format. There's going to be an update from Eve, and then we're going to have our 10 speed speakers sort of giving an update on their things. So if you are a panelist, you will, if you can stay on mute, and you will be made a speaker by Julian, and then he will invite you up one by one. So really looking forward to the event. We've got some fantastic speakers. Frank the dog has been very keen to be involved today, and let me hand over to Eve.
You're going to have to give that dog a little stroke, Sarah. I think asking for you to pet him. Is it a him?
It's a him, and yes, he wants a pet.
Yeah, so we'll maybe get a chance to see the dog shortly as well. Sarah, thank you so much for that intro. So for anyone that hasn't met me before, I'm Eve Roothouse. I lead on culture and economy at Leeds City Council. So I have quite a wide-ranging portfolio, which is one of the delights of being a leader in local government. And I now look after not just our business support and our sector development with the digital sector, but also our fantastic museums and galleries, which as of yesterday, we now know can open from the 17th, and our culture development across the city. I was just going to touch on a few things by way of kind of update from the city perspective before we go into the pitches. So first of all, political landscape. Sarah obviously mentioned the election of the first Metro Mayor for West Yorkshire, and of course we'll be looking forward to working with Tracy on her agenda for the whole of West Yorkshire. There were also council elections this past week for across West Yorkshire and in Leeds. The Leeds City Council structure hasn't fundamentally changed at all. It's still Labour controlled, and Councillor James Lewis will remain leader of the council, having taken over from Councillor Judith Blake earlier this year. We don't yet know, we don't yet have confirmation of who will be in his cabinet, and who will be taking the lead on economic development. The leader of the council, Councillor Judith Blake, the previous leader, she used to hold the portfolio, and so we will hear later this week. Once we know who that person is for the long term, we'll of course want to get them involved in the digital community. So we will be introducing them to all of you over time and getting them involved in the digital sector. In terms of just a bit of an update on COVID-19, the vaccination rollout continues at pace across the city. I know Sarah's recently had hers and I've recently had mine, and that's a really positive thing for us. One of the challenges that we continue to be focused on, however, is making sure that those that have been missed are encouraged to come and take their vaccine up. And also, as we get into the under 40s, that for those people who are perhaps under pressure not to take time off from work, that we find a way to be able to enable them to get their vaccination. More than 380,000 people now in Leeds have had their first vaccination. Other good news is that there are no COVID-19 cases in care homes across Leeds at the moment, and the main sort of kind of small number of cases are in education settings or workplaces. Opening up across the city's gone really well. So we've worked really, really hard since we kind of knew the roadmap across different teams in the council. So we have a city centre management team. We have a team that promotes Leeds as a visitor destination, which is part of my wider team. And we have a whole kind of range of relationships that we have, business around business support. And all of that's come together for really carefully planned ways to make sure that people feel safe returning into the city and into local centres, and that businesses can be successful. So hopefully those of you that have been back into either the city centre or part of Leeds you haven't visited before have found it safe and enjoyable. And that work will continue now with the announcement yesterday around moving to step 3. And again, we really look forward to sort of welcoming people back to their offices and back into the city centre, and importantly, supporting some of those hospitality businesses that maybe we haven't been able to support for a while. I'm certainly looking forward to being able to get more coffee from Lanes and La Bottega over time. So that's a little bit about COVID. Thinking there's been some really exciting announcements for the city over the last few months as well, which I just wanted to touch on. So we've had kind of a real kind of rush of people announcing that they're planning to locate in Leeds. So obviously the BBC announced that they were going to locate some functions to Leeds, the Department for Transport, but possibly like the headline announcements being those of the UK Infrastructure Bank and the Bank of England announcing that they are going to locate in Leeds. And I thought you'd be interested just to know a little bit more about the UK Infrastructure Bank and also the Bank of England. Possibly some of these businesses may become clients of the digital sector, but also encouragers and supporters of innovation. So it's going to be a real asset having them as part of our ecosystem. So first of all, the UK Infrastructure Bank. The UK Infrastructure Bank is going to have a 22 billion kind of financial capacity to deliver. In that, they'll have 12 billion equity and debt capital and the ability to issue 10 billion of guarantees. And they'll draw capital from the HMT and borrow from private markets as well. They will invest in projects which would sort of perhaps be sort of the balance of projects that need that sort of public sector cash injection. And it's all about kind of underpinning the government's levelling up agenda, but also addressing the climate emergency. They are making their headquarters in Leeds, recruiting actively in Leeds. They're already in shadow form. They're currently working, the Treasury team that have been appointed are working through now the structures for the bank. They're already asking proactively for people who may want to be seconded in to help them with the setup of the bank. So there is a huge amount of work going on by that team in Treasury to get that bank up and running. And what I'd say is, therefore, it's going to happen quite quickly that we will have the presence of the bank in the city, even if it's in a temporary space to begin with, and then a longer term home. And we do feel that will then attract quite a lot of others who are interested in that. the Bank of England announcement. So the Bank of England announcement, sort of the bank actually already has a presence in Leeds. And for those of you that sometimes walk through the city centre and see the armed kind of guard arrive, I can't remember the exact time of day, that is actually going to the cash centre that Bank of England run in Leeds. The cash centre is actually going to be closing. They're consulting with staff on the closure of that, because we don't use as much cash, and cash in its new form is not being wearing away as fast, I suppose is a good way to describe it. So what they are going to locate in Leeds is actually their functions of the bank. They haven't made any decisions yet about whether they'll be relocating particular functions or whether they'll be relocating, creating sort of a hub in the city. And clearly they'll be going through negotiation with their own staff at the Bank of England. But another very exciting kind of development, and really reinforcing Leeds as the second UK centre for finance, which I think has some implications for us, particularly around fintech and regtech, which perhaps we need to think about in terms of collectively how we take the opportunity around that. So that's a little bit about the some of the sort of exciting announcements that came recently. And then finally, I just want to touch on some pieces of work that we're sort of doing as a council to try and help move us forward in terms of our economic recovery from COVID. So thanks to anyone who contributed to our conversation around the future of city and local centres. That work is ongoing at the moment and will be brought forward as a report in July. And we're really looking forward to using that to then shape how we can invest in both the city centre and local centres for ensuring that they are vibrant and successful into the future. We're also, I'd also like to say thank you to those of you that contributed to the digital strategy workshops. That work is also coming together towards the autumn for a strategy that we would like to bring forwards for the city. And finally, we're about to kick off a new piece of work, which you will all be invited to contribute to, which will be about skills and talent. We decided to call this piece of work last week, The Future of Work, and that's now been adopted by both Labour and the Conservatives in some of their descriptions about skills going forwards. But we penned it first. And we will be kind of using that to refresh our talent and skills plan for the city and drawing all of our stakeholders together, both employers and skills providers, to make sure that we have a really, really clear action plan for the way forward. And from a digital perspective, that's absolutely vital to us to hear from digital employers of all shapes and sizes, because we know that that's where a lot of the opportunities are for our people. And how do we make sure that a diverse range of people are getting into digital and getting those opportunities, and how do we build on all the excellent things that are already happening on the city around that? So hopefully that gives you a good flavour of what's going on, and a sense that we're still, yes, we've still got an eye on the operational, we're still very focused on managing on COVID-19, but we've also got our heads firmly looking to the future as well, and very optimistic about where we can go collectively as a city. So I'm going to hand to Julian now, who's going to take us in. Oh, by the way, if anyone has got any questions for me, I'll look at the chat and I'm happy to reply. And I'll pass to Julian, who's going to chair the lightning session.
Thanks, Eve. It's brilliant hearing all the good news. Hearing a recap on all the good news. It's been fantastic lately with things like the Infrastructure Bank and the new Green Finance Institute at the university as well. And it's, with my interest in FS, it's there's been a lot to be cheerful about. And in terms of opening back up, I went into the office yesterday. We did a team lunch at Banyan. We had booked a table for 6 people. It was absolutely brilliant, I've got to say. It was just so nice to be in the city centre, be in the building, even though it was face masks in communal areas and things like that, and just socialising. It was actually a bit weird seeing people in person rather than on the screen, because I haven't really done any of that lately myself. But yeah, lots of reasons to be cheerful at the moment. Those who have been before to these sessions, and I know that's quite a few of you, will know that what we do is run kind of community updates via mini pitches, where we get people on to just give a bit of an update on what they're working on, or to share some insight or knowledge with everybody. At times we've had as many as 20 people doing these. We've got a smaller group today, so we've got 9 9 people giving updates, so I don't have to be quite as rigid as normal about the time control. But if everyone could try and keep it to kind of about 4 minutes, that'd work really well. It'll leave time for us to quickly have a chat at the end as well. So I posted the running order in the chat, and I've made everyone who's joined, who's supposed to be speaking, a panelist. So if you guys can kind of keep your mics off and your cameras off until it's your turn, that'd be brilliant. First, we're going to hear from Simon Palmer at Garbett and Elliott, but also of Leeds Digital Festival fame. I'm not sure what you're updating on today, Simon, but do you want to come on screen and give us a few minutes? Your specialist area.
Hi there, Julian. Thanks very much. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I there?
You're
good. Yeah, great to be amongst all you digital people. I know you don't get many accountants on this. It's quite unusual to see one. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about what I'm doing working within the Leeds digital sector, and hopefully a few of you already know me from before lockdown, when we all used to meet up. Do you remember those days? But great to hear what Eve said. Everything's opening up in Leeds. I'm actually going in now 3 times a week. We've actually grown so much in Garbett and Elliott during lockdown. We've actually taken on so many people that we're actually almost pleased that we're not getting everybody through into the office, because we just don't have enough space. And a lot of our growth as a firm of accountants dealing with the digital and technology sector has been on the back of you guys. What you do is great for us, and from what I can see, Leeds technology and digital sector has just been booming in the last 12 months. Everybody has been having a good time. So yeah, it's great that that's happening. It's also good for us. So just if any of you don't know about G&E, we're a very Yorkshire firm. We've got around about 200 employees across Leeds and York. I'm actually a high growth business partner. I'm typically looking after digital and technology companies, taking them from startup and seeing them right through to eventual sale. So typically on that journey, what I'm dealing with is, first of all, getting people set up with Xero, getting the bank feeds sorted when they're in that startup mode, actually supporting them sometimes at no cost whatsoever, just getting everything updated for them, putting in place SEIS and EIS for the funding, getting the Xero management account set up, putting in place EMI share options and doing those valuations, early valuations, so you can actually retain your key staff. Moving on to year-end tax planning, then of course the all-important R&D tax credits, which is a massive part of a technology startup's funding. We're always involving our corporate finance guys along the way, planning for an eventual sale. So what else do I do? Thanks for the intro, Julian. Yeah, I've been a founding director of the Leeds Digital Festival, and working alongside Stuart Clark, Deb Hevington, and Paul Berwin. It was actually Paul Berwin who he was on the last one doing the presentation, and it's him that inspired me to do this, really. I also thought I'd just make sure you're all aware of what I'm doing with the investment readiness program as well, in conjunction with the LEP and winning pitch. If any of you are actually wanting to get free one-to-one advice, or just learn about how to get investment and grow your business, you really should think about getting on this investment readiness program. It's free. I do sessions on actually getting you funded, how you actually do apply for SEIS and EIS. So it's a really valuable source, and the one-to-ones, you can get really valuable advice from a whole host of people. I'm also involved, we're partners to North Invest. So as part of what we do with investment readiness, we're actually channeling people through into that North Invest Angel Group network. Well, I would just share a bit of insight and knowledge of what I'm seeing at the moment in the sector. Apologies. Is we are seeing HMRC actually looking very closely at entrepreneurs relief, and I know part of what you guys do, you actually grow to eventually sell. Nothing wrong with that, but along the way, there's a lot of part sales going on. So you actually probably part selling some of your equity, or even final sale. This, what Entrepreneurs Relief is this 10% rate of tax, which is restricted to £1 million. HMRC are really looking closely at this. And what I'd urge you to do is if you are thinking about doing a part sale, or if you are actually doing a full sale, get it checked out with HMRC. Get clearance for what you're actually doing. The second thing, bit of advice I'd give you is about what HMRC have also done with the R&D tax credits. I don't think a lot of people know about this, but there's been a massive shift in the goalposts from the 1st of April 21 about what you can claim for R&D. If you guys are claiming if you guys have got expenditure of more than £60,000, which is an equivalent to a claim of around about £20,000 coming back into the business, and you outsource all your R&D, you've probably got a problem after the 1st of April. What they're doing is restricting the R&D tax claim to 3 times what you pay in pay-as-you-earn, and above the £20,000 de minimis limit. So if you've got employees and all your R&D is done by your employees, that's absolutely fine. But if you are subcontracting it, again, get it checked out. I'm always happy to run it, have a chat with you and just see how you are doing with it all. Yeah, so really that's it. Always happy to talk. Yeah, I'd love to meet you in Leeds City Centre. I'm there 3 days a week now. Yeah, I'll see you at Lanes or La Bottega.
Hey, thanks, Simon. Lots of good stuff in there. Clearly, lots of areas where you and Garbett and Elliot could help people out. I was just wondering, what have you seen over the last year or so in terms of new startups? Have you seen that there's been more or less, or is it sort of steady as you'd expect?
Much more.
More,
yeah. A lot more.
Good.
And we've had some notable successes. There's one really big success that has been, as from a startup point of view, has been Shred. They got that £1 million funding. That was crowdfunding. And there's a few other sites opening up. There's a site called Angel Group Network, which has got a lot of foreign investors on it outside of the UK. And I know a lot of startups get completely frustrated that they can't access capital. That site seems to be generating a lot of interest from abroad. Okay, it's 150 quid. It's a bit of a gamble, but it is actually opening up a bit of capital to people who wouldn't normally get it from the usual sources, which is North Invest and Angel Group within the Leeds region.
Yeah, great stuff. Anyone that doesn't know about Tread, I think they've raised their profile pretty well actually in the region. But Will and Pete, a couple of guys based in Leeds, who've started up a new debit card that is enables you to offset your carbon footprint, and it's very clever. It's really captured people's imagination, and it's kind of riding the wave of the interest in sort of sustainable and ethical finance, green finance. Cool. Okay, right. Thank you, Simon. Next, we're going to hear from Lucy at North Coders. Lucy, do you want to come up on screen and give us an update? Morning.
Hello, morning. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Still virtually, unfortunately, but like everyone was saying, hopefully in the future, near future, things will be changing. I just sort of made me laugh mentioning about Tread and raising their profile, because just made me laugh because a company that we are already working with already for being such a new startup in Leeds, and a couple of you already knowing Peter over there. I just thought it was quite funny. But hi, yes, I'm Lucy. I am the Senior Partnerships Manager here at North Coder, which sounds awfully formal, but essentially I primarily look after all things North Coders on the Leeds and Yorkshire side of our business. So I'm sure many of you do know us and have heard of us, or possibly already work with us, but for those who don't, North Coders, as a quick overview, we launched back in 2016 as a coding bootcamp in Manchester, and we expanded to Leeds back in 2019. We actually celebrated our 5th birthday last month, which is all super exciting. But over the past 5 years, we've graduated over 800 developers, supported them into roles at over 230 companies across the UK. And I suppose the most exciting news that I want to share with you all today is that last year we launched our additional further training programs, which are upskill and reskill. We're very no nonsense here, as you can guess. They pretty much do what they say on the tin. Upskill for your current developers, or reskill for your people or new people into tech. The programs that we offer qualify for apprenticeship funding. So that's so we can support our clients of all sizes, whether it be our bigger corporate clients, excuse me, all the way across to our SMEs and our startups like Tread that's been mentioned, which is why I suppose I am very happy and super proud that North Coders have become our own fully licensed apprenticeship provider as of the end of 2020. We currently have over 50 learners on our programs, completely separate from our bootcamp, and we're in the process of welcoming more and more as we are already moving through 2021. Our programs are very modular. They are built to support our clients and their tech teams in what suits their needs and projects and specialities most, and I personally have enjoyed so much being fully immersed in this side of our new side of North Coders business, and supporting our local community within digital. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention, actually, just because it leads very much on from what Eve was saying at the start, which is something that we are sort of seeing on our side of North Coders, which is the amount of roles we currently have from our clients wanting to bring North Coders into their teams is currently outstripping how many North Coders we have available. And whilst that's amazing for the North Coders themselves, it's really increasing the seats on the boot camps for sure, but it just shows me, I suppose, what an amazing position to be in after such an uncertain year. It shows that Leeds and the northern tech sector is really coming back stronger, I think, and it just makes me so incredibly happy, and I'm sure everybody here today feels exactly the same, that is the case, and hopefully, as a few people have mentioned, that continues, and we just do keep coming back stronger and stronger as we move out of COVID. So yeah, that's me. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lucy. It's always an upbeat update from North Coders. Everything always seems to be going in the right direction. Well, obviously, overall, you guys have got that balance of supply and demand, haven't you? Where you've got to have the students, and you've got to have the clients that want them. What does that balance look like at the moment? How's it? What do you need more of?
So we need more probably software developers, and I'm sure everybody feels the same at the moment. Like I say, with things really taking back off, and us as a tech sector being really sort of vigilant, I suppose, and quite lucky in that regard over the last year. The demand for our North Coders is currently outstripping how many we have, and we're doing a lot of work on the bootcamp side of stuff as well. I'm sure a few of you may have seen recently as well, we over on our Manchester side, so however many people may have seen that, I'm not sure, on this crowd, we have done some sort of fully funded scholarship places on the bootcamp as well, for trying to bring more people from diverse background and underrepresented backgrounds into the sector as well. So we're doing a lot of really exciting and cool stuff on the bootcamp side. But yeah, it's supply and demand, and just supporting the individuals coming through as well, and making sure they are not only tech ready but job ready to hit the ground running as well when they go into teams, you know, providing the most value. And the two sides of the business really go hand in hand. So taking on a North Coder and supporting a team in that way, but then also utilising our sort of upskill programme to further the knowledge and experience of that individual as well, whilst they're you know, on site or on the team, shall I say, rather than on site at the moment of the company. It's so exciting, and there's so many sort of different options that we are sort of providing to our clients at the moment. So yeah, the demand is high, but that's only a positive thing.
Cool. Good. Well, good luck with and congratulations on your ongoing success.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Just if people didn't see the running order in the chat, it's going to be Sarah coming on next. Then we're going to have Crispin from Coders Guild, Jess from Generation, and Glenn from Berendo. And I'll do another update in a few updates. But it's welcome back to Sarah now to give us an update from a wild perspective.
Thanks, Julian. I've never done one of these before. I was a little bit nervous, actually, but I'm glad you're not being super tight on the 3 minutes. But so for those of you who don't know WILD was created about 3 years ago. It's a Northern community-led initiative, very much focused on creating and highlighting activity that encourages minority groups to choose a career in digital. So we do lots of different things. We build and support groups, events, communities, and networks where we try and empower and engage lots of different people. So initially, we started off as an organisation that was very much focused on gender diversity. And I think that the deeper that you delve into, you know, the world of gender diversity, there's a lot of intersectionality. And, you know, we built a board and we talked about the things that were really mattered to us and the next program of work we were going to do. And I think we mentioned it here, but we wanted to do a piece of work that we felt was really important to us and was an opportunity for Leeds to really lead. And we're doing a piece of work around racial diversity in digital in Leeds. So what we want to do from our work is kind of aim to help Leeds build a digital sector that really can compete on a world stage and making sure that we are diverse from the ground up. So I think, you know, everybody will have heard about, you know, more diverse organizations, you know, make more money, but there's also things that, you know, a lot of product and service is built, thinking about NHS and other organizations, and actually for it to be beneficial and fit for society, it has to be built with diversity. So we've come up with a quite a large program of work. So we went out to the city and we looked for some partnership and sponsors. Leeds Council stepped up to support us. Thank you very much. And we also have 6 other supporters. So Bruntwood, TPP, Nexus Crisp, Skybet and BGSS have come behind us to support this. And we're going to be doing a program of work. And initially, we're going to be launching a survey across the digital community. And we're going to ask everybody to take part in that. But it's going to be a survey sort of around experiences of people from completely different backgrounds. So from our perspective, racial diversity has currently been a box called BAME, and that basically means non-white. And people who are non-white are lots of different types of people who have lots of different types of experience. So we found that, you know, there might be an organization who has quite a high percentage of people from a BAME background, but they could all be men who are contractors, who are Asian, from a certain demographic, and actually that isn't diversity within an organization, and actually they would have a very different experience to a young Black woman. So what we want to do is send out this survey and get everybody to take part. So whether you're from a BAME background or not, we really want you to take part in the survey. From the back of that, we're going to ask people to volunteer to take part in some qualitative interviews, and we're going to spread that as wide as we can. So it will be people from as many different backgrounds, so, you know, intersecting as far as we can around race, sexuality, socioeconomic. We really want to get a breadth of people and understand what it is to live and work in Leeds. within the digital sector when you're from a different background. And then we're going to be working with that information. So I'm working with one of the board of Wild, who's a lady called Net, who runs a business called Diverse and Equal that specializes in this area. And we're going to be taking the results and writing a report, but also writing some objectives for the city on how we can do this differently and how we can really lead with regards to racial diversity in our industry. So from the back of there, we're going to be hopefully being really noisy. And what we want to do off the back of it is go out to other cities, I guess, and help them, I guess, to show them what we're doing and lead the way and make some change. So I wanted to share it just with this group because I think it's really, really important. And two, that, you know, over the next month, you know, there will be a survey coming out, and I really hope that everybody takes part and encourages, you know, their colleagues, their employees, employers to take part in this, because we'd really like Leeds to lead the way in this topic and make change. The end.
Well done, Sarah. And no dogs. What happened to him? What have you done with him?
I gave him a chew stick.
Nicely timed.
Thank you.
I'm fascinated to see what comes out of that survey. Really happy to complete it and share it, and I'm sure everyone will be. I think as someone like you who organises a lot of events, I really feel the issue here, because we try to, for our FinTech North events and other events, we try really hard to put on a diverse speaker lineup, and it can be really difficult. And so you know, I'm sure that is reflective of the wider issue, and I suspect you'll find quite a few areas where we need to improve.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you know, that often when people start businesses by no fault of their own, they hire their friends and people like them, and they build, you know, businesses in their own image. And then, you know, quite quickly you've built this framework. And, you know, what we want to do is build a city where, you know, people from different backgrounds can see people like them and aspire to be them. And how do we make sure as a city that we're doing that, and we have that framework in place to support individuals? We've got such a rich, diverse population as a city. So how do we make sure that our industry, especially, is one that should be, you know, very inclusive, represents that?
Yeah, great stuff. Great, really interesting. Thank you. Okay, we're going to hear from Crispin at Coders Guild now. Hi, Crispin, we found you. Can you call?
Hi, yes, yeah, I'm coming. Here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was lurking as last time. Zoom.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Weird. And I thought about it just like a few minutes before I was going, oh, remember what happened last time? I'll just go and sort that out, sign myself in and appear. So thanks for bearing with me. I've got some slides. I think maybe just so that it can help me remember what I'm supposed to be talking about, I might do a quick screen share if that's all right.
Yep.
Here we go, loading.
Okay, great.
Grand. So hello, I'm Crispin, CEO of the Coders Guild, based here in Leeds. For those of you who haven't heard of us before, we are a digital skills training provider specialising in industry-led bootcamp courses, digital apprenticeships, technical CPD, and we deliver all across the UK. Social value is core to our business. We have a social mission to increase diversity, promote inclusion, and remove barriers to careers in tech. It's been really good to hear from the other panelists today about the advancements, and I think, like in Leeds, we seem to be like really on it and really connected. So that's fantastic to hear. We help businesses discover and nurture the very best local talent available by making tech education as accessible as possible for everyone, regardless of their age or background. COVID has had a massive impact on us all. Lots of people have experienced unemployment or job insecurity due to the pandemic. And early indicators show that this is most prevalent in the same groups that continue to be underrepresented in tech careers. Just advance my slides. You may remember from the last forum that we've been delivering a pilot project for the DFE through the West Yorkshire Combined Authority, training 200 people now with the skills they need to hit the ground running as they switch to or start a career in web and app development, software testing, or UX. Course content, as with everything we do, is 100% industry-led. Everyone who devised, reviewed, or delivered the training is a working practice practicing, respected professional, and in many cases also an expert in their field. So, for example, I've grabbed some quick slides here for the people who are doing the training for us. Adi Stokes from Sonocent. We have Scott from where does he work now? He was working at Computershare. He's just shifted jobs. I forget to where. Suman from Sky. They're all doing the testing boot camps. Then we have Helena Hill delivering for UX, and then a few of the trainers who are doing the working with us on the web and app dev stuff. Gareth, Sarah, Paul, Rachel. There's many more, but I didn't want to just have hundreds of slides. So one thing is, like, I wanted to massively thank every one of them for the success of the courses so far. But also we worked really hard to make the courses super valuable, not just for the learners themselves and for DFE stats, but also for Leeds businesses. We've trained them in the key skills and the knowledge that we know they need to be able to make an impact fast. And now we need to take the next steps. We want to see progression for these people. We need to connect them with Leeds businesses that can provide opportunities for them. Jobs, apprenticeships is one bit, but also internships, mentoring, mock interviews, help, advice, whatever. I'm just about to put a link in the chat to a post on LinkedIn with some more info and contact details. And one really simple way that members of the forum could help us right now is to like, share, comment on that post right away, so that we can get a good organic reach and reach as many Leeds businesses as possible. This is a unique opportunity for businesses to take on one or more of these talented graduates, adding valuable in-demand new skills to their team, as well as showing support for this fantastic government programme. Also, it goes without saying that this is another way we can all help drive forward the agenda of improving workforce diversity, growth and optimisation within the Leeds digital sector. Sorry if that was a bit fast. Thanks.
No, that's great, Crispin. Thanks. So, and when are these the people available to be hired?
Right now, so we did like a pilot scheme that ran until the end of March. So those people, the people who finished in March, are ready now, and we've got an extension to run till the end of June. So we've got another batch who will be coming out be ready towards the end of June. But they're all ready for interview and so on right now. So anyone who wants to get in touch or gives a share of the link I'm just about to post, that would be grand.
Yeah, great. Post it in the chat. Absolutely. Cool. Okay. Right. Well, thank you very much, Crispin. Okay, we're going to hear from Jess at Generator now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Cool. Nice to meet you all. I'm going to share some slides if that's okay. If I just share my screen, 1 second. It's the dreaded share screen thing, isn't it? It never goes right. Okay. Can you guys see these okay?
Yeah, that's
brilliant.
Perfectly.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, well, nice to meet you all. I'm Jess. I'm from Generation. I'm our Director of Strategic Partnerships with a specific focus on our work in Leeds. I think some of you will have been on the call previously, the previous call, sorry, and heard from Michael, our CEO, and will have seen kind of some of the info on these slides. But I just wanted to give a bit of a recap and then an update on where we actually are in Leeds as well, because we've come really far, I think, since the last call, which was kind of, I think, 3 or 4 months ago. So who Generation are? We're a global non-profit organisation and we're a registered charity in the UK. We were founded in 2015 by McKinsey. And what we do is we run education to employment programmes across the world to prepare, place and support young people into careers that are life-changing. And that's a really big thing for us. It's getting young people into jobs that really make a difference to them. And that jobs that they wouldn't otherwise be able to access. We also, that's the support for the young people. On the other side, what we do is we provide employers with really high skills, really motivated, and I think a key thing that's come out today is really diverse talent. And we provide that pipeline of talent to those employers. Across the world today, we've supported just under 39,000 people with an 80% job rate off those programs that we run. So this is a little bit of info about who we are and where we operate. So we operate in 14 countries in 143 cities, and you can see the map there. There's quite a decent spread as to where we operate. We work in 26 professions across the world. In the UK, we predominantly work in the tech space. We have had, like I said, nearly 39,000 graduates. 55% of those across the world have been female, which is really key, I think, in the tech space, and something from when I'm speaking to employers, something that is really important. We've worked with over 3,500 employers around the world, and that could be on a one-to-one level in a local city, or it could be on a global partnership scale, which we do have some of those as well with companies like Microsoft and McKinsey. Our programs have an 86% job placement rate within 3 months of the program, and a 92% within 6 months. And I think what's key to note there is we offer post-program support to the young people as well. So we'll offer young people a 6-month mentor post-program to help them into work if for whatever reason they're not going straight into a job. And yeah, there's just a couple of stats there about what that means for the young people. So they see a significant increase in their income. And we also see that young people who typically go through these types of programs outperform their peers, both in quality and productivity in the role, but also a key bit is on the attrition side as well. So in terms of actually staying in a role, we get feedback from employers that the young people that come through generation programs are more likely to kind of stay in those jobs. So this is what we look like in the UK. Let me just reduce that. So we operate we're UK and Ireland, and we operate across 5 locations. So we launched in the UK in 2019 in London and Manchester, Greater Manchester. We then launched in the West Midlands and Dublin last year, and we launched in Leeds City region this year. And that's the other thing I think about us in Leeds. It's not just Leeds City, it's the wider Leeds City region. And we have launched in Leeds with a significant ESF contract. We have that contract to support 5,000 young people through employability provision over the next 3 years. So half of those are through our boot camps, and half of those are through kind of wraparound and further employability support we offer to the young people. We'll also be looking to expand later in the year or going into next year, likely into Scotland as well. So we're really excited to be in Leeds. I think talking and hearing some of the people that we're talking today, it's a really vibrant city. It's really young. The tech sector is really growing and thriving, and I think that's something that we're really excited to be part of. And it's great to hear people from North Coders and hear Crispin speaking as well. We're kind of working with those organisations as well to bring kind of the youth and tech side together. So what our programs look like in Leeds, this is quite a long slide, so I will just run through it briefly. But these are the programs that we're looking to deliver in Leeds this year. So I'm aware, and the employers down the side are example employers that we've worked with across the country, so not specifically in Leeds. There are some Leeds businesses there that we are working with, but that kind of represents who we work with across the UK. So, like I said, predominantly our delivery in the UK is tech-based programs. We are also running in Leeds a customer support program, which is kind of like contact centre type work, which will be running in June. And we're also, not on this slide, but we're also looking at healthcare programs specifically with NHS trusts as well. But on the tech side, which is obviously what everybody who's interested in, we're currently running a pre-apprenticeship program for level 4 software engineers with a small number of learners in Leeds, which is a joint program with a program that we run in London with Multiverse. And we're working with other apprenticeship providers in Leeds specifically. Coders Guild, we're working with quite closely on that to get those young people opportunities as level 4 software engineers. We're then looking to run, in July, we'll be running a AWS Restart program, so cloud support practitioners, junior DevOps engineers, and they're 12-week boot camps that we're running. And the idea of those programs is they give young people the technical skills, but also really importantly, the job skills and the right kind of skills and mindsets that they need to go into and be successful in a job. We're then launching an IT support program, which is brand new to us. It's a program we've launched really successfully in the US, and we're launching it in the UK, with Leeds being one of the first areas that we're running it in September. And then later in the year, we will likely also run a data engineering program. That one is still TBC and kind of dates and when, but that's kind of what our program profile looks like. If you oh, I've lost my slide. So there's some videos here. So what I'll do is I'll ask if we can get these slides sent around at the end. I think we did that last time, and you can click through and see some of the videos, because as much as I can talk to you about it, or Michael last time, the young people tell it much better than we do, I think, which is lovely to see. And then that's just our email addresses as well if you want to get in touch. There's myself and Michael. And also if you're a business who's kind of wanting to understand about bringing entry-level talent in, we're working really closely with Stuart as well. Stuart, I didn't put your email address on, sorry. So get in touch with one of us and we'd love to have a chat with you guys. So that's kind of us in a nutshell and what we're delivering. I think it's also really important, and it's lovely hearing everybody talking about kind of coming back into the city and that kind of thing. It's a new city for us, so we're just growing the team currently. I was the first person in the team full time. Obviously you can hear my accent. I'm not from Leeds, but I'm kind of operating in the Leeds team. And we're also getting a new director coming in as well to specifically look after Leeds. So we're also looking for kind of shared office space and stuff like that. So we'll be spending a lot more time in the city as we grow. So it'd be great to kind of hear from people who, have got anything in that space as well. Would be fantastic. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I don't know if there's any questions or anything.
No, it's great, Jess. Thanks. And yeah, things have certainly moved along since Michael gave his last update, as you indicated at the start. So you're looking for offices at the moment then? You don't have a location right now?
No, we don't currently. We've just recruited the Leeds team, really. So they're kind of, everybody's coming into post. So we're probably looking at some kind of shared office type space, that we wouldn't use full time. I don't think most people are doing that at the moment, but somewhere where we could kind of have access to come together a couple of days a week if that was the case. So that's something that we're looking at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to drop any names because I'll only forget to mention someone that I know, but there's plenty of great options in Leeds.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, it's really in demand actually. The sort of the shared sort of co-working spaces and some of the sort of more serviced office arrangements are really busy with inquiries at the moment, which is another thing that's great to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and thanks, Eve. Yeah, I can't wait to. I was a student in York, so I spent a lot of time in Leeds, so I can't wait to kind of get back and see it more. So thank you.
So are there a lot of active links with McKinsey as well then, or is that are they the sort of the founder and it's a standalone
Yeah,
version?
we are standalone. McKinsey, our founder was from McKinsey, but we get support from McKinsey fellows, so kind of like pro bono support that you would get.
Yeah.
They come in and help us kind of with big, either global or national, depending on the country, strategic projects. But also we can, through McKinsey, leverage other partnerships. So funding relationships, for example, or like they may bring employers together. So we've got a partnership currently with a few kind of big employers, including including BlackRock, which McKinsey is part of as well. So they're on a global scale more than a national scale. But we can access kind of especially the people support and the strategic support.
Great, that's brilliant. Well, I think we'll be hearing more and more about you in Leeds, and obviously you're working with Stuart, so you've got the right man for the job there.
Exactly.
To help.
And I love to chat. So anybody feel free to drop me a message if you're an employer, if you're working with any young people, or if you, like I said, want to chat and have got some space to talk about as well.
Cool. Thanks, Jess.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to hear from Glenn at Burendo. Glenn, you there?
I am.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi all. It's great to be here. It's great to all the digital organisations coming together as well as one. It's the first time I've typically got involved in a kind of a forum like this. But yeah, so I'm Glenn Crossley, one of the founders of Burendo. So Burendo are an agile delivery consultancy that typically offers services, staff augmentation and training. We formed in Leeds and we're based in the Barclays Eagle Labs. We formed as a new startup in Leeds 3 years ago. 3 founders, all like-minded in that we had a passion for wanting to help others in the adoption of all the kind of tools and methods that we'd used throughout our careers and had some success with. We recognise that every business has a different challenge, different culture, so we really do like to tell our approach. Our USP is slightly different to what I've heard this morning. We operate in the kind of the product and delivery space. And I think we've really become the kind of the go-to place to support disciplined agile delivery, agile thinking, using rapid techniques to really allow companies to quickly elaborate, validate ideas, plan their initiatives. During the first 12 months, we really did flew under the radar. Our focus was purely on building our reputation with our clients and not trying to over-commit to something we couldn't deliver. I think the good news is we've now officially landed. We're no longer flying under the radar and doing some really big and exciting stuff. We've had some phenomenal growth. I think we're now up to over 85 people and growing fast. Expect to be at 100 plus in the forthcoming weeks. We work with, as you can imagine, vast array of companies in both public and private sector, predominantly in Leeds, if I name a few. So in Leeds, in public sector, we're obviously working with NHS Digital, NHS England, just to commence an exciting piece of work with NHSX. We're also leading a major transformation initiative with Public Health England. So they're transforming themselves to be called the UK Health Security Agency. We're kind of leading that initiative. There's about 7 different work streams on there. I'm currently working myself on the vaccination history, sort of COVID status checker project that's widely tipped to support domestic events and foreign travel this year. So if you get stuck at the departure lounge, don't give me a call. Honestly, I know nothing. In the private sector, we are and I've done supporting companies such as Equifax, William Hill, Eversheds, EMIS, to name a few. Currently helping Yorkshire Building Society with a large digital transformation to help them with new ways of working so they can really quickly respond to new ideas that present themselves in the market. Outside of Leeds, we've also been supporting McKesson, who are the largest private healthcare company in the US, out in Atlanta, Georgia, mainly delivering training and consultancy to over 65 people per week. A big part of our business is also partnering with other local based suppliers to help them deliver services to their customers. We really believe the B2B model and joining forces to help other companies deliver great outcomes. Finally, so we're also the sponsors, and I'm one of the founders myself, of the Blended Agile Delivery Toolkit. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but if you visit bad.tools, it's an open source toolkit. It really does blend the best bits of the different frameworks into one nice toolkit for everyone to use, whether you be a startup, a kind of a large corporate, or whatever size organization. There should be something in there for you in the toolkit. And this partnership with the toolkit has really meant that we can really go worldwide. So anyone who needs any support from the toolkit, like I said, we've got about 1,000 downloads per month. So what next? We want to really ensure we grow at a pace that means we can continue to deliver great services. We've built a good reputation and plan to keep it that way by ensuring we invest in our people, a diverse workforce, as everyone's touched on today, because our people are our biggest asset, and we can only commit to work knowing that we've got great people to do that. So yeah, that's me. Like I said, we're down in Eagle Labs. Office is open, the door's always open. Anyone wants to come and visit, have a look at the toolkit, you're more than welcome.
Thanks, Glenn. How many people did you say you have at the moment?
We're about 85, probably creeping up to 100, probably by June.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, and you're kind of in that sweet spot in Leeds of the health and financial sectors by the sounds of things. You've got a lot of presence in each of those, which is, I guess, has been a recipe for success for some other well-known consulting brands like BJSS and Infinity Works and others, and also Answer Digital, who are going to join us today. So have you been experiencing strong growth through COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, part of the public sector especially, a lot of it has been all hands on decks and kicking off fast, rapid initiatives, not really got time to think things through in too much detail, but demonstrate progress. So we've been kind of supporting these initiatives with this kind of the tools and techniques that we're renowned for, really.
Cool, great stuff. Okay, well, look, thanks for bringing us all up to date.
Anytime.
Now we're going to move on to hear from Alice at Leeds Codes, or is it Leeds.codes, Alice? Or which way do I say it?
Hi, yeah, it's Leeds Codes.
Leeds Codes, okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for having me.
Go for it.
Yes,
Over to you.
So my name's Alice Chance. I am the careers coach at Leeds Codes. So we are new to Leeds City Centre. We opened Leeds Codes about a month ago, but we have been in Manchester as Manchester Codes since 2017. And what we offer is a part-time coding school. So we've created a unique sort of evening class course, which allows people to keep their full-time jobs and sort of allow this course to work around them. So by offering that service, we've been able to really bring in a real diverse range of talent. So we currently have on our courses is 43% women. And we also offer a diversity grant as well. So for anyone who identifies as a woman or comes from a black, if you're black, from a different community background, anything like that, you get a £500 discount onto the course. We're also taught by developers, so we're taught by people who are sort of experts in the field that can interact during the course and sort of train people up. So this adds to the additional experience of anyone that's sort of learning from us. With Leeds, we've got our first course, which is due to start on the 24th of May. And like I said, it runs part-time, so it's 2 evening courses a week. So you don't need to sort of quit your day job. We get lots of people, sort of mothers, people who are wanting to return to tech, people who are currently working in tech, can't afford to quit their full-time job, but would like to move into software development, which is really cool. So we get a real diverse range of people. So we work as well with partnerships, created quite a few of those since I've been there, and we're just working now to sort of partner with more businesses within Leeds and within Manchester. So we're sort of offering a free service of introducing our developers to the team. And we sort of run lots of events as well. So we've recently partnered with Wild, and we did our first event within Leeds. And yeah, we've got lots of sort of exciting things on the cards, lots of opportunity to partner with businesses and sort of grow within the Leeds digital space, which, as everyone's aware, is a really cool place to be at the moment. But what's really cool about our students that come onto our course is that we attract really sort of hardworking people from the region and from Manchester, as they are able to sort of juggle having a full-time job and also completing the course at the same time. We've also got people who are doing our course that are experienced, so they've got all those soft skills, they've got transferable skills, and they can walk into sort of so many jobs within software development. But then we also get people who go off into sort of other directions. So we've had somebody who's just completed their course but it's now just started as a business analyst. So yeah, we're sort of there to help and nurture and grow different types of talent throughout the Leeds area. As an organisation, we are trying to really grow and get our name out there. So I think, as somebody mentioned earlier, if you ever see any of our posts on sort of LinkedIn, Twitter, please feel free to give us a like. Or if you'd like to connect with myself, my name's Alice Chance. Or if you'd like any more information about Leeds Codes, please let me know. I'll put some details into the chat though. But yeah, I'm always happy to have a chat with somebody or meet at Bottega for a coffee, as everyone likes to say. But it's the best place. But yeah, that's it from me.
Thanks, Alice. Well, Bottega is certainly getting a good shout out today.
Yeah, it is. I know. I think it must be sponsored by Bottega. Thank you.
Thanks for the overview. Are you? I mean, I guess like the last time we did this this forum, we've had a lot of updates from people that are providing some brilliant services to help upskill the community. Do you get a lot of people kind of shopping around, so to speak? Are they checking out different options before deciding what to do, or how competitive is the market to sort of to get the candidates in?
I think so. Yeah, I guess what we offer is slightly different. As ours is sort of like an affordable part-time school, so we do get a different type of person that unfortunately, well, they can't quit their day job. We get lots of like mothers who are sort of looking after their children full-time, but then are doing this in the evenings. So I guess that's sort of one thing that sort of attracts people to us differently to say like North Coders, which is like full-time. So it's it's a bit different to what other people are offering, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. I get that. You're attracting the more mature students.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Okay, well, thank you, Alice.
Thank you.
Right, we're going to hear from Esther now at Female Magic, and I think we were supposed to have one more talk after Esther, but I don't think they're on the call. So I put a note in the chat. If there's anybody else who wants to do an update that's on at the moment, just drop me a note in the chat, and we can find a couple of minutes for you. And if not, we may wrap up a few minutes early. Okay, Esther, welcome.
Good
morning.
Thank you for having me, and it's been lovely to meet you all today and listen to everything that's going on in Leeds and further out. So yeah, my name is Esther and I am the founder of Female Magic. We set up in 2019. So my little one has just woken up just as it was my turn. So if you hear a little baby in the background, that's why. So yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So we're a community wellbeing brand that focus is on heightening the voices of women in the north of England. At our core, we are passionate about. Do you like talking with me? We are passionate about encouraging millennials to prioritise their well-being, as we believe self-care and love go hand in hand when becoming successful. Our platform has a spotlight on the women of colour in Leeds, allowing them to share their individual aspiring stories. And we do this through the events that we've had prior to lockdown, workshops, and the podcast that we have tried to keep running throughout this time. So these are the three biggest events that we have done this far before lockdown, like I said. And the reason why I created Female Magic was because when I graduated from uni in 2019, I really struggled to get a job. My degree was in broadcast media technologies, and there was a clear lack of job opportunities within Leeds and within the north in general. And I found myself going up to London a lot, mainly for the representation as well. So I thought, surely I'm not the only qualified person of colour in Leeds who is struggling. So that's why I created the community event in 2019, just to highlight how many talented and successful women of colour there are in Leeds and within the north. So now, due to everything that has been going on for the last year, we have decided to create an online membership, which is starting in August. And within this online membership, we will be having workshops and masterclasses, mindset and wellbeing coaching, and networking opportunities for freelancers and female founders. Something that I'm wanting to do is create the bridge between marginalised communities and businesses in Leeds, because I do believe there are, even from this call, there's so many opportunities out there and businesses out there. However, there is still clearly this lack of diversity within different industries and organisations within Leeds. I believe Female Magic has created quite a big trust around different communities in Leeds, and so we're wanting to work with different so we're wanting to work with different businesses and organisations and kind of highlight the other things and the other opportunities that are going on in Leeds, so women don't feel like they have to leave Leeds in order to become successful, because I think that's the mindset of a lot of people of my age and my generation. They don't see any hope in creating a successful career in Leeds. So what I would really like to gain either from this Zoom or overall is just to ask other businesses and organisations to join our job directory once it's up, partnership or collaborate on a workshop. It's great that you guys do so many different things, and again, it's just having the knowledge out there and the accessibility to other people, and potentially become sponsors and stuff like that. So yeah, what Female Magic has identified as the three main problems that we focus on is lack of representation, low self-worth, and lack of opportunities. And if you have all of these three things, it can make you feel really, really down. On top of everything else that's been going on, we feel like if you don't have your well-being and your mental health in a good place, you can't really expect to become successful in any shape or form. So these are our 3 pillars: community, self-development and opportunities. As I said, I have a degree in broadcast journalism. However, Female Magic also focuses heavily on well-being and mindset. And I think that's from my experiences and background going through or being a freelancer. I think, well, within any job, you can suffer from mental health, and it's not something that is discussed enough. So we try and merge mental health or self-development and job opportunities together in order to be kind of complete all in one. So yeah, that's just a quick, I don't know how long that was. Sorry, I don't know if I've just rambled through that or if I've gone over 3 minutes, but if anyone would like to speak to us, the email's here, but I could also put it down in the chat if that'd help.
Yeah, put it in the chat, Esther. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for the run through and well done and keeping it together with your multitasking there as well.
Just my lucky to wake up. He's been asleep this whole time.
Yeah. Oh well, no, it's always good to see some of the little ones on these calls. That's it's been one of the best things, hasn't it, about the last year. We've had children and pets today.
Yeah.
Are there many of the organisations that have spoken today that you've already got relationships with? Because it feels like you could link up with all sorts of people with what you're doing.
Just Sarah, and Sarah's the one who introduced me to this whole thing. So yeah, I've noted everything down, and like I said, it's been really helpful. And I think a lot of people's goals, and especially in regards to diversity, I feel like I am that person.
Yeah.
Be that bridge between these communities. I've been born and raised in Chapeltown, and even that alone, I think there's a lot of negative stigma around that area, and I'm trying to break those stigmas and just break a lot of the negative perceptions people have on people of colour in general, and like I said, create that bridge. So there's a lot more success, and there's a lot more of teams and memberships in Leeds as a whole, so we can become a lot more diverse.
Yeah. Fantastic. It really feels like the pendulum's swinging, doesn't it? That the diversity's become such a strong issue, and for all the right reasons, or it's becoming for all the right reasons. Yeah. No, great stuff. Well, good luck with everything. Good luck. Okay. Well, look, that's. I don't think Sandra's on. No, we were going to hear from Pan Intelligence, but they've not been able to join us. So. I think that's. Oh, hang on a minute. Neil from Arups offered to do a quick update. Neil, I'll get you on. Just give me one tick, and then we'll wrap up. I only just spotted your message. Sorry. Okay, right, Neil. You should be able to put your camera on and speak now. Impromptu last-minute addition to the agenda. That's what we like.
There we go. Have you got me?
Yep.
In the glorious sunshine. What a little cutie. Brilliant to see him on the call, joining us then. Look, just a quick update from me. So I'm Neil Hooton. I lead our digital team here in Leeds, but of course, Northwestern Yorkshire as well. I'd just like to say, we are, I said earlier, North Coders, we've been supporting North Coders since they started in Leeds kind of 3 years ago, and we put our 3rd cohort through. Super pleased to be doing that and actually spreading it out. So that's training that's now being delivered across our whole North region, which is brilliant. So thanks to North Coders for that. It's been really great. I just recommend them. We're also growing our team in Leeds. So I've got 2 more digital apprentices coming in back end of July probably. So that's great, and we're doing work across the whole of Arup actually from our Leeds office, which is brilliant. We're also currently working with Slingshot actually as a startup on the Yorkshire Geospatial Twin, which is a great piece of work to get involved with, helping them work out, I guess, the kind of commercial edge for what they're doing and giving them some use cases, putting some of our data through. But what I was going to say is we're going to be looking out for a few more over the next year. So I'm looking to maybe do another 2 or 3 collaborations with other startups or SMEs. We've got some motivation to go and see who's around within the zero carbon sort of space, and also with sort of engineering design. So, you know, if you do want to kind of reach out and give me an email or anything, please do. But we'll be looking out for a few more startup collaborations over the next year. And then the only other thing I wanted to say was Digital Festival. Really pleased that it's going to be happening again in the autumn, and we're starting to hatch some plans, and we're hoping to do something around inclusive urban design this year. But we're just starting to have a think about that at the moment. So some crazy ideas spinning around at the moment, but hopefully you'll see more of us in the autumn. And that was it. Cheers.
Cool. Thanks, Neil. Thanks a lot. It's always good following the our updates online. You guys always have some good thought leadership out, and I've enjoyed some of Tom Bridges' thoughts around the sort of future of cities and why city centres are gonna kind of prosper on the back of everything that's happened, rather than fall away. So yeah, good to have you on. Okay, so I think we are going to wrap up now. Graham Ponton, who's the man behind all of this, by the way, at Leeds City Council. So thanks, Graham, for all your help with this session today and all the other sessions as well. Graham's posted his contact details in the chat, so if there's anyone listening that wants to do an update at a future session, then just get in touch with Graham. We'll get you on. It's very open to anyone. All we kind of ask is that you've got something interesting to share, and people don't kind of come back and just say the same thing every time. So it's been good today. It's always great to hear all the updates. The format's really interesting to sit and listen to and to facilitate. So I hope everyone's enjoyed the session. We've recorded everything. The recording gets shared, as Graham's noted in the chat, and hopefully see you all at the next one. And please do help share the word when you get the notification of the next one, and forward it on to anyone else who you think might enjoy joining us. Thanks to Eve and Sarah for their contributions earlier, and thanks to everyone who's spoken, and hope everyone has a good day. See you all soon.